Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. How Black Lives Matter is killing Americans. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Point.
On behalf of all New Yorkers, I want to offer my deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of Eric Garner.
Stand up and say loudly and clearly, Black Lives Matter.
That a system built to divide and impoverish and destroy us cannot stand if we do.
While Black Lives Matter is an extremely large and popular movement today, it all started by one woman, Alicia Garza, expressing her upset over the death of Trayvon Martin on Facebook by using the hashtag Black Lives Matter.
Little did she know that the Black Lives Matter movement would become one of the biggest civil rights movements in the United States today.
Black Lives Matter started actually in 2013 as a national organizing project after George Zimmerman was acquitted in the murder of Trayvon Martin. Folks like Patrisse Cullors and Opal Tometi, who are co-founders of Black Lives Matter, each of us felt deeply that it was important for us to build a base of people who were ready to counter anti-Black racism, which permeates our society. And so Black Lives Matter is really a call and response. It's a response to the virulent anti-Black racism that our society faces and struggles with, and it's a call to action that we take the time.
As the movement started picking up attention, other influential members of our society began advocating for the movement, including Colin Kaepernick, who started the NFL protests, in which athletes kneel for the national anthem before the game.
We as a collective, since the colonization of the Americas, have been combating collective forms of systemic racialized hate and oppression. But I am hopeful. I am inspired. This is why we have to protest. This is why we are so passionate. We protest because we love ourselves and we love our people. It was James Baldwin who said, "To be Black in America and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time." My question is, why aren't all people? How can you stand for the national anthem of a nation that preaches and propagates freedom and justice for all, that is so unjust to so many of the people living there? How can you not be in a rage when you know that you are always at risk of death in the streets or enslavement in the prison system?
Kaepernick started these protests in order to bring attention to the wrongdoings against African Americans and other minorities in America. Subsequently, many more discussions involving the protests and Black Lives Matter were brought about. These discussions also stirred up quite a bit of controversy regarding the disrespect of the American flag by kneeling during the anthem. One of the most prevalent ways that the protests were brought about in the media is the new Nike ad that supports Kaepernick and his protests.
If people say your dreams are crazy, if they laugh at what you think you can do, good. Stay that way. Because what non-believers fail to understand is that calling a dream crazy is not an insult. It's a compliment. Don't try to be the fastest runner in your school or the fastest in the world. Be the fastest ever. Don't picture yourself wearing OBJ's jersey. Picture OBJ wearing yours. Don't settle for homecoming queen or linebacker. Do both. Lose 120 pounds and become an Ironman after beating a brain tumor. Don't believe you have to be like anybody to be somebody. If you're born a refugee, don't let it stop you from playing soccer for the national team at age 16. Don't become the best basketball player on the planet. Be bigger than basketball. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. When they talk about the greatest team in the history of the sport,
make sure it's your team. If you have only one hand, don't just watch football. Play it at the highest level. And if you're a girl from Compton, don't just become a tennis player. Become the greatest athlete ever. Yeah, that's more like it. So don't ask if your dreams are crazy. Ask if they're crazy enough.
The battle still continues for Black Lives Matter and the NFL protests. Black Lives Matter is a social movement that has and will continue to fight for their rights until society makes change and realizes that all of us are born equal, are equal, and can live equal.